Hi everyone, welcome to X's and O's with LeRoy Butler, and we are going to get right into it. So we were both watching the Vikings and Giants game last night and saw this play and thought, boy, this is a good way to keep frustrating Odell Beckham Jr., which is, one, to be physical with him, which they actually don't do on this play, but the other is to double cover him and then disguise your double coverage.
Yep. That's exactly right. Don't let him know who's going to be the double guy. He has no idea.
So what we have here is a 7-man front that the Vikings show, which tells you you're either going to blitz or you're not going to blitz, right?
Yes.
So that's the first thing Eli Manning's got to think about.
And these guys are standing up. They're like ready to come.
Right.
Like we're bringing everybody.
And that's not unlike what the Packers do.
Right.
This could be Julius Peppers, Matthews, Perry. And this would be Mike Daniels, and this would be Joe Thomas, and maybe a safety.
That's exactly right.
So, they have a single safety back here.
Yep.
You've got Victor Cruz here and Shepard over here. Okay, so why don't you break down what happens first at the line of scrimmage, who comes and who doesn't, and then what happens over here.
The first thing is the quarterback's progression. What Eli has done now, he brought the back over to go max protection to this side because the safety walks up. So he brings him over, and then he basically tells Odell Beckham, he gave him a option route. He can run deep or he can curl or do whatever. So that's going on. So now the safety has to get an illusion like he's in the middle. So it looked like some kind of man because they made like a blitz or a zone or something, a zone dog. But what happens, Tom, this guy rolls way over here and plays like a cover 2.
Doubles
so,
Cruz.
And this guy he's locked on to him and this guy goes around. But look at on this side, you got Xavier Rhodes, a corner, he's going to come back in the deep thirds.
Right.
So now one of the best safeties in the league, when Beckham comes off, he run like a curl route. On the ball, snap, this guy Harrison come right there underneath him. He has no throw. He had to throw it out to the flat, and it was 3rd and 8, as you see.
Right.
And it's a brilliant play. And now these guys, they're coming. Okay, they're running games.
This guy
inside,
came out.
And he comes out.
But the thing about it was that. So they only sent 5, but they gave the illusion they were sending 7.
Yes.
Manning had to check down here because it was really interesting to watch this route because he runs this route and he turns and there's Harrison Smith.
Sitting
right in his face.
Yes.
Right there.
Yep.
And here's Rhodes who's playing,
nice and deep.
It's 3rd and 8. He'll come up to go, if for some reason he curls to the outside, he'll come up and cover that.
Yep. You get the best of both worlds. And you still got a safety deep, but the weakness of this coverage would be your slot. If a guy works him and takes the middle, then it's a weakness. So you have to get this guy inside.
Right.
The Packers run a defense similar to this, but they run cover 2 on both sides. And I think they'll bring up Morgan Burnett. Will be with this guy. He'll be that particular guy there. And then what you'll get Bryce in the game. He'll be your deep guy. Everybody else plays like a combination man coverage, and you have to get those 5 guys going after the quarterback.
Right.
Which they've been doing a great job. You get Nick Perry in there. Hopefully you get Matthews back. Man, you'll get a lightning quick squad out there.
Right, and the other thing is if this is Matthews here, you could also bring the safety,
Absolutely.
right? And then drop him too.
Yep.
So you have other options there
That's right.
as well, right?
Yep. And you know what the good thing about that stops the screen pass to the backs. Because Matthews come out, he stays in his area. You can bring this guy. If he blocks you, you got him. If he doesn't block you, continue to the quarterback.
Right.
That takes away, because that could be a weakness in that defense when you blitz a guy, a screen pass.
Right.
And McAdoo knows all that, the head coach.
Yeah.
He kind of knows the concept of offense and defense, so him coming back, playing the Packers could be key to what you really want to do. So Don Capers got to be on top of his game.
Right, and the one thing we should recognize is that Minnesota's pass rush is terrific.
Yes,
and
that's
when
true.
they're playing at home, the Giants were deciding they're going to get rid of the ball quick.
Yeah, it's going to be loud. It's going to be loud in Lambeau. So, but still,
They're going to have to get their pass rush
They're going to have
up.
to get pass rushes up and use that to their advantage. Now, one thing Eli will do, he'll try to hard count them to get them off.
Right.
They got to watch the ball. He's one of the best hard count guys. And then for the most part, I will go to the referee and say sometimes he does his head like this, asking for the ball. He can't do that. And
Right.
he can't do, he can't make gestures like that. So I would tell the ref just to watch that, just to be kind of a whiner, because I like doing that.
Right.
But because I used to go and say, tight ends push off every now and then. They will watch it, you would get a flag. But the Green Bay Packers have to give him a look. You just can't line up in it. Then he can, the guy's won multiple Super Bowls.
Right.
He can put the ball where it's supposed to be. He also will give you an opportunity for 2 or 3 interceptions too.
Okay, good. Next, we will look at some play from the Packers game a week ago, and just to give you a little bit of look on offense. So we picked this play on offense from the Lions game because I think we both thought that this was a play. It was 2nd and 15, and it showed, one, how valuable Jordy Nelson is, and 2, how important it is to be patient and not necessarily try to hit the home run every time. 2nd and 15, there's 1:56 left.
Make 3rd down manageable.
Yeah, make 3rd down manageable instead of a 3rd and 15 by, a potential 3rd and 15.
Right.
So it's really kind of a simple route, but it's really interesting how, they work this with the tight end to try to get Jordy Nelson open. So
And notice again, Randall Cobb is out here.
Right.
And you got Jordy Nelson in there.
Right.
He uses flip-flop.
Yep.
So they're trying to get the ball to 87. So in your film study, you're like, okay, what is it? Maybe that was just for Detroit, but it worked. So you got to assume that the Giants, have to practice for it. But sometimes they have Devontae Adams in there, and sometimes they will go back with Cobb and have a play action. But in this particular play, Aaron looks at the defense. He's got one thing he's thinking. He needs to find out if it's a blitz look. Is this guy coming? Is this guy coming? Because if this guy's coming, then you got to pop this tackle out to take him, and then you got to hope if this guy comes, now you got Starks got to take this guy, or Starks can come over and take this guy if he comes. Now, once he feel like, well, you know what, they're in a cover 2 or a cover 4, or a cover 3, is a couple things you want to see happen. Now, with this thing, the reason why I got the linebacker in red, he's thinking 2nd and 15 too, and Tom, he drops back right here, really deep.
Just to give them an idea, let's look at the first of
look at the first picture.
formation, just to give them an idea. Now, there's that linebacker you're talking about, right in the middle,
right
on
in the middle.
the 25-yard line.
Yep.
And you see Nelson there looking at Rodgers, checking to see if there's any kind of probably check at the line or something like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, now back to the board.
And then you got to, the key to this is your tight end. Your tight end has to be kind of a decoy. I hate to say it, but he has to be kind of a decoy. And what happens, Tom, he has to get off of this end. This end, you can't let him slow you up.
Right.
Now you got to come up here, and you got to just kind of go in here to draw either the safety or the linebacker to clear this out.
And hopefully both. If you're
hopefully
really
both.
good,
Yes.
you're both. So the safety does come over that.
So now the corner's thinking 2nd and 15 too.
Right.
And he kind of backs up here.
Right.
And the smart thing about Jordy Nelson is he just come up here and catches the ball here for a nice gain. And Rodgers very patient and gets the ball to him.
Let's look at the second one, which will show you exactly what's going on. Now you see Richard Rodgers there at about the 24-yard line.
Yep.
You see Nelson curling under, and you can sort of see how everybody's reacting to Rodgers. That linebacker has drifted back to like the 20-yard line. The safety's worried about Rodgers going deep, and that leaves that Nelson on the corner there, really by himself, and he's going to come right across the middle. So let's go back to here, and he's about here in that photo, and he's going to come right in here, right?
And it's just an easy throw. Now, I'll tell you this, if they're in cover 2, just say if you see this, now let's go back and look what would happen if the Giants are in, if Rodgers thinks they're in cover 2. Now, this is what will happen. Now, both safeties will go deep, okay? They both will go deep. And I'm going to show you what Jordy Nelson will run. My red's running out. Okay, now this linebacker still would take the middle, okay? So what Jordy would do is once Richard Rodgers take that middle, right? That'll occupy, the linebacker. Nelson will come up, he'll lean out and break that post right there like a skinny post. And you get a vertical out here, and that'll be a touchdown. So if you 4 or cover 2, touchdown.
Why is that? What is this? What happens to
He has
the
to go
safety?
deep over. He has to go deep and protect this guy from the vertical because the cornerback just has the flat. So he has to get out of there. He can't hang around in here. If he does, you can go to if he does hang around over here, Rodgers got to be wide open for the touchdown. Richard Rodgers could be open. And you look at what Kyle Rudolph did with Minnesota. He had a big game against the Giants. So, if you got, Richard Rodgers on your fantasy team because Cook is out, he can have a big game.
Yeah. And the thing about this was, so they hit the 13-yard gain, made it 3rd and 2, and they wind up throwing a touchdown to Nelson on this drive. They kept the drive going.
But in field goal range, they could get a little aggressive. It's very manageable.
That's the thing we didn't see the first 2 weeks in the Packers offense. And that'll be key to watch against the Giants, whether they're willing to take stuff in chunks.
Just be patient. They're going to have opportunities. But again, 54 is the guy for the Giants. You got to block him, Tom.
Yeah,
you got to block him.
Yep.
Well, wherever you got to block him. Make sure you're good across the front, and you're good. You just need no injuries on the offensive line. You'll be fine.
Okay.
And one of those guys get hurt, we could be doing a different show.
All right. Okay, and so we'll see whether we see any of these plays next week.
It should be a high-scoring game, but I'd like the Packers to win.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.